This is the Scarecrow Hour, and getting back to our roots here because we're going into spooky season, and I can't think of a better way to kick it off with not one, but two horror icons. Not just two horror icons, like the biggest names.
The biggest.
Yeah, I mean, is there any argument that these guys are just, they're up there with, with Elvis Presley, like as far as recognizable?
They are the kings of horror.
Horror, absolutely. And since the beginning of, obviously Friday the 13th was before, but ever since the first Nightmare on Elm Street,
Give him a second.
Robert Englund.
Who's that guy?
I almost said Richard England. But Robert Englund himself. I'm going to be botching names left and right today, brother. I know I am. I'm glad. I can't believe we're here.
Yeah, man, it's been a trip, and we have been talking about doing this movie for a while, and it's like almost happened, not happened, almost happened, not happened. I told you I was like, oh man, it slipped my mind, but I had it on my calendar and I had alarms going off.
Yeah.
Starting this morning. Actually, it started this morning, and I was like, oh yeah. And then later on, another came. I was like, dadgum. I was like, I guess I was thinking ahead, but I just didn't check my darn calendar.
Well, we started to do it. It was like almost going to be a summer one, and it got pushed back so far. It's the kickoff of it was going to end summer, but now it's kicking off fall.
Absolutely.
And we're going to be talking about what we're going to follow this up with. That's later. We haven't decided, but we would love to hear from anybody that wants to make a suggestion. If not, I'm just going to go with something we love.
All right.
Or something we hate.
Yeah, well, that's something. Yeah, we're definitely kicking around that idea. Something we can just have fun, just have fun.
Yeah, just something that's not gonna be good.
I mean, we have fun anyways. Then that's kind of redundant. I mean, I don't know. That's redundant.
Yeah, but you know what? I think what's really important with the movies we've done is that we show that we really just appreciate these movies. That they've been there. They've to watch a movie, to go into that world is a really cool thing. It's one of the first escapes we experience in our lives. So it's almost like visiting somebody.
Yes, I can agree with that.
Yeah, so even every movie we've done, flawed,
Right.
sure, but loved each one for its own.
Well, there was
Halloween.
Halloween. We kind of rushed some Halloween.
Yeah, well, that was quantity over quality.
Yes, it was. Without a doubt.
I remember even after that, you're like, so you just didn't have much to say about stuff like that. I was like, kind of sucked. It's like, okay, well, if it kind of sucks, maybe we shouldn't have done it. I'm like, yeah, well, it's done.
Yeah, well, we did it, so it's over with.
But go back and watch that one, and then let us know it wasn't as bad as we think it was.
I mean, since we're already in the fall type season and we're rolling into it, go ahead and reach back a year or so, or year or two.
Well, it's
been 2 years. 2 years ago, last spooky season, 2 years ago. Go ahead and check that stuff out. I have. It is official. The UncleSamPresents.com goes directly to our YouTube page.
Oh, cool.
Yes. So no more. I got rid of the website, and everything's on our YouTube, Rumble, and Spotify for the most part. Anyways, or at least Rumble and YouTube. Spotify is kind of iffy.
I think it's the way to go.
But everything's on the YouTube page, so there it is. That's all that really matters, anyways. So we keep the name.
Yeah.
Just drop in the website. So
right on. So, but unfortunately, all the merch that we had made with the website address,
it was
particular. We're gonna send it over to Indonesia.
Yeah,
the kids are gonna be running over there wearing Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl jerseys from last year or whatever, and our stuff, listening to Church of Chaos. Anyway, deep cut.
I was trying to remember that name the other day.
Yeah,
we
you
talking,
said C4,
I was like, I remember that one, and then yeah.
No, I later on I reworked it to a Church Upon Chaos, but let's move forward.
Anyways,
okay,
that's not what we're here to talk about.
Why don't we start with our intro? As everybody knows, you are
Uncle Sam, and this is
Random Ninja.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. It seems like, I was thinking about changing my name to Shinobi Kenobi.
Shinobi Kenobi, I like it.
Ninja Jedi thing, but
okay.
It'll be Random Ninja for now.
Randomist Ninjamus Shinobi Kenobi.
It's all
the
good.
Third.
Trademark patent pending. Anyway,
of course.
I was thinking about like a ninja with a lightsaber. That's neither here nor there. So, what are we talking about?
I believe we're going to be talking about Frederick.
Yeah, I was looking for something Freddy. Oh, there we go. We got the glove. Listen,
right there.
Before you at me, I know it's the 2010 remake glove. I knew that when I got it. I like the design. We'll talk in a minute about 2010. In fact, okay, first impressions.
Well,
do you want to do the
Tell them what movie, because all I said was Frederick.
Frederick.
So
Well,
it kind of leaves people guessing, unless you've already read the title of this video. So if you, just in case. Who else?
I forget, man. I forget.
What's his name? Jeremy?
John, not John.
Joseph.
Joseph Varhidis. Jasonian.
Jasonian Varhidli.
Okay, this bit's going nowhere.
Okay, yeah. So we're talking about Freddy versus Jason, the 2003 horror classic mashup, mix-up.
Yeah.
How do you want to describe that?
Well, Dream.
Yeah.
Real quick, not to spring it on you, dude, but I got you a Halloween present.
Oh, really?
Yeah, here you go. Open it up, man.
Oh, man, I'm afraid to open this.
I wrapped it myself.
This is expensive. This is nice.
And I need that back.
I'm afraid I'm going to mess it up. What?
Yeah,
It's
check
upside
this out.
down. What?
You seen this?
Dude, that's freaking cool,
Yeah,
man.
you're going to have to let him breathe, dude. Pop, you got to pop him open.
What? Oh, my gosh.
It should tear pretty easy.
Okay. Dude, they have child costumes of Sam at Walmart
Finally.
in Graham.
Oh, I know.
I saw it. I was like, oh my gosh, I wish he would.
You get it?
He's gonna want something ridiculous. How in the world do you open this?
Like
You
this.
just- huh?
It's a lid. It's like a stash can. Remember those?
Oh no, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, we're getting there.
Uh-huh.
Oh man. Oh, there's even a. Oh man, what I open for? Oh my gosh.
Man, I never had one open it in a bag like that. They're always
Really?
like, yeah, mine are always like wrapped in crepe paper or something when I get them. I guess he's most special.
He is very special. This is my guy.
Yeah, he perfect. It's made by Funko. I bought a couple just random ones. I was like, these are neat. And then when I saw him, I was like, I'd like to get him for Sam. And,
That's pretty cool, man.
And I was like, well, okay, Halloween time. So yeah, dude, I hope you like him. It's pretty cool.
I know, man. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
no problem.
dude.
Happy
That's very
Halloween,
nice.
man.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what you got me for Halloween.
I got this really cool Sam figure for you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
cool. I didn't
that's-
have him.
Yeah. Happy Halloween,
Thank you.
even though it's a month away.
Cheapgate. This was like a nickel. Anyway. Okay,
Jeez
there we go.
Louise, jerk. Dude, that's cool, man.
Yeah, like I said, I was just he popped up at one point and then he was gone for a while. I didn't see
Yeah.
it, and then finally when he came back up again, I was like, I'm getting him.
Here you go. You can have the
Thank you.
wrapping paper
It's
back.
clean for whatever that's worth. It's clean. It was. Oh, if I would have had more time, I was gonna like do the old like wrap him up like in a trash bag over and over. I was like, but we didn't have that. We didn't have trash bag time.
All right, dude. Awesome.
Like I said, yeah, you gotta let him breathe, man. That's one thing. That's the only thing that keeps me from being a hardcore collector of these guys is
Yeah.
that you have to open them.
Yeah.
You know, if you just leave him in there, you're like, I wonder what he looks like.
Right.
You know.
Dude, that's cool though.
So I kind of think I like these a little more than the traditional Funkos. You know, they got a little more personality, a little more cartoonish.
Yeah, it definitely looks more cartoonish. So I mean, I like it. I like anything Sam. So
Sure, yeah.
I'm good. Yeah, I already know where he's going. Obviously, he's going right there on my bookshelf in the Sam
Okay.
section.
Well, now that
yeah,
we're in the Halloween mood now, like I was saying before, you know, Frederick England.
Frederick England.
Frederick
Yeah.
England.
Close, getting there.
He said he's like Robert Voorhees. No, has been asked since the first. He said since the first Nightmare on Elm Street movie, kids would come up to him and ask him could he beat up Jason.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so this has been ever since that first Nightmare movie. This started. This is
All right.
movie has floated around for so long. The script I think was rewritten almost 20 times. Like,
course.
yeah, so many times they almost made it. Kane Hodder, who's unfortunately not in this film.
I know that's a little disappointing, right?
That is a huge disappointment. Okay, I got to say this. I'm gonna talk. I love this movie. I could watch this movie, put it on right now. I'll say or no, I'll watch it, and I'll enjoy every second of it. With that said, you are gonna hear me throughout this whole podcast go, why? Constantly, just why?
Yeah, this is one of those we're not going to pretend like it is absolutely the most perfect, just everything that we ever wanted. especially as time has progressed. It is.
This is. You ever had a friend that was just not a good dude, but every time he was around you, you just loved him being around you. And you had a great time and everything.
Yeah.
And then and when he leaves, you're like, why do I like that guy? And people are like, why do you like him? You're like, I don't know. I just do. Freddy versus Jason.
There you go.
And there are some reasons and I'll get to that. There are some reasons that this movie satisfied my ticket when I bought it.
Mm-hmm.
In the first, like before the movie starts, like the scroll, when we get that, we hear the Nightmare on Elm Street theme, and then you hear the Jason right there. I was like, I'm good. Right. I was like, if that was the whole movie, I'm good. Of course, you got to also remember this is 2003. I know we've got countless fan films now that are excellent. They're so well done. I love watching those. But in 2003, we didn't.
No.
You got what the studios gave you, and that was it.
You get what you get. Y'all better not throw a fit.
I say that a lot.
Right.
But no, this is like being like a 5-year-old kid, and your dad's finally like, you know how you wanted a dirt bike, and a 4-wheeler? Yeah, I got you both. And you get to ride them together at the same time somehow. And you're just like, thank you, Father, for you have blessed me as only you could. So that's how it was at the studios and stuff, But I think to really understand this movie before we get into our first impression of the film, you've got to understand both these franchises. That's why I have mentally and a little bit of notes prepared a kind of a rapid run through of the Nightmare on Elm Street and the Friday the 13th films.
All right, let's see what you got.
Okay, first off, I'm going to start with Friday the 13th was the first, so let's start there.
Okay,
the original Friday the 13th movie. I don't really care for it that much. You know why? Jason's not even in it. There's no Jason. I'm a Jason Voorhees fan over Friday the 13th.
Gotcha.
Right. So it works great as it's a prequel, but they put it out first. You're like, no, that's just called the first one. So I'm not that big of a fan. It's classic. It's very well shot. It's great. It's got some up and coming stars. Kevin Bacon's in it, famously everybody knows and stuff. Great movie, classic, deserves all of its flowers. I'm just not that into it. I skip it when I have when I do a marathon.
You need to watch it, but one time is good.
We'll see all the something that I always loved about the Friday the 13th movies. They always have those recaps at the beginning of.
That's true.
Yeah, you can literally start with part 4 and be okay. You'll know what happened. They'll give you enough in that recap.
You will get caught up,
and you're good there. So if anybody's like, "Well, I don't want to watch," I'll just watch 4. Okay, and I'll get to 4. So anyway, part 2. This is where we get Jason. This is also. Do you remember that lawsuit that was going on forever? They just recently resolved it. My gosh. Sean Cunningham and Victor Creed. I forget it. Victor Creed. That's Sabretooth.
Victor Miller?
Yeah, Victor Miller. Victor Miller. Thank you. And Sean Cunningham made Friday the 13th. Right.
This. Go ahead. Let everybody else know.
Okay. Anybody doesn't know. And again, I'm going to keep these rapid because that could be a whole show on itself. And if I botch anything, I'm sure I will get it in post. Anyway, so Sean Cunningham's the guy that created Friday the 13th film. Victor Miller, though, is technically the guy that created Jason because he's the guy that had Jason come up out the water at the end for that big scare.
Okay.
So it was like, well, we own Friday the 13th, but this guy owns Jason.
Okay.
Hence, Jason X wasn't a Friday the 13th. You know what I mean? Because that was anyway. And again, some of that might be speculation because at the time of this originally this stuff going on, we didn't have the internet to check on it and stuff. So there are, and I'm also gonna kill some rumors and stuff that I always believed. But so that was the thing. It was a legal battle. In 2017, I think it started. The Friday the 13th game had come out. Excellent game. If you love Friday the 13th movies, that game is a must. Even if you don't like games. Go in that game, you feel like you're walking around Camp Crystal Lake. I don't even want to play. I just want to walk around Camp Crystal Lake.
I can't remember if it was you or Jules that were playing it whenever I've seen y'all guys.
You would have seen Jules play.
Okay.
She was so into that game.
Right.
I loved watching her play. I would get on the headset when we'd play with people. Yeah. She would be playing, and I would be talking smack like I was playing. Man, that was so much fun because she's doing, and it's just like, look at that. I'm that. You can't touch me today. I'm just commentating on what she's doing. We talked, but we had it queued up, that song, I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight. Anytime we would get killed, we'd hit that song and be like, yeah, I just died. And Jason be choking. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So in Friday the 13th, part 2, because Victor Miller had Jason come out at the end like that. Now, okay, let's pass the axe, if we will, to Jason, young Jason, and he with the bag hat. I think this is a great movie. Friday the 13th part 2, one of my favorites. It's like a low level Jason. He's still kind of fumbly. He's not. I mean, he's a person. You can hurt him and all that.
Okay.
I actually really like the bag
Yeah.
look, baghead Jason. I mean, obviously the iconic hockey mask is.
I'm okay with
The
Burlap
baghead.
Sack character.
Hey, I wonder who his daddy might be. So, I mean, in that bag look was based on I think the son that dreaded downtown.
Oh,
The
the dreaded sundown.
is contagious. Yeah.
How dare you?
Calling Johnny Botch today. Okay, so anyway, great film and a lot of fun. We move on it's funny how I got into the Friday the 13th movies. Like I tried watching one of them and I was too scared because I was a kid, but I went with my dad to go bed shopping, and my dad was like, if he spent some money, like it was going to be like an all day thing. You know, he went to every bed place in Wichita. Well, it was raining all hard, and I'd go with them all these places that sold furniture. Obviously, they had TVs. Well, USA. You know, one of the greatest channels ever, was doing a Friday the 13th marathon. So hanging out with my dad all day with the rain going, I would just go find the TVs. When my dad tested every bed and priced and talked and negotiated, and every one of these places we went to had it on USA.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, so I'd watch part of the movie here, then I get here and here. So, I dug it. And it was fun. So I was like, I'm going to watch some more of these. And it was all right. I didn't scream and cry like I used to. Well, I mean, a little. But anyway, so part 2 was the first one I watched like that because I didn't watch part 1 like that. So then, okay, great. Part 3, another great classic. This is where we get the famous hockey mask. Awesome slasher flick. That it takes place the day after, so the timeline's still going.
Right.
The weird thing about continuity out the window, okay? Like, don't even argue with me continuity about these movies. Because at the end of part 2, he's got like long hair. In the beginning, he's bald. At 3, who cares? And then also, there's this weird, stupid thing in part 3 where they imply that Jason, like, assaulted this female, and it's just they're at this point, we look back on these things and we're like, oh, this don't make sense. Why they do this? They didn't know what they were doing.
They're trying stuff out.
Yeah, they're creating it.
Yeah.
Jason didn't have much of a backstory then. So I mean, that's why
it was the 80s anyways.
Yeah, and you gotta have grace. You gotta take it with a pinch of salt. You gotta say, okay, take it for what it is.
Right.
It's just like bands get better and
Right.
stuff, and sometimes they peak and then they fall back down, and we'll get to that. Okay, because part 4, I think part 4 is one of the best ones. You could if you were gonna watch just like one of them, I would probably say part 4.
Okay,
and watch the recap of the others because at this point you've got a higher level Jason. I think you've got him kind of. He's still in the living form.
Gotcha.
Because Jason kind of transcends.
Yes, I know.
And so this one, it's like freaking, it's his death and stuff. The final chapter is what it's called. Okay. And people are like, well, it was part 4. It's not the final one. I was like, well, kind of, because it's the end of his life. We have a young Corey Feldman in there, which is really neat. Just really great. And, what's that one guy? There's I forget his name, but he's in there too, and he gets the corkscrew the eye out. Crispin Glover. Yeah. Remember him?
Oh, yeah. I know you're talking about.
Back to the Future boy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not part 2, dadgummit. He was not in part 2. Don't sue us. Anyway. Yeah, he's great. Yeah, he's weird. I'll take that back. He's weird.
Yeah, no, he was weird. He is.
He's weird. He looks like he smells weird, too. Not trying to be judgy. Just kind of tired. Anyway, with that said, so that one, Jason dies. Jason gets killed, spoiler alert, and he dies. For the first time, he is dead. Like you said, well, you got killed in part 3. He didn't get killed, he gets stopped.
Gotcha.
Took a shot to the head. Okay, you can live. You can survive that. He's been through a lot.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah. So, but no. This time now, his head's been hacked up. So, part 4, love it. It's great. Now this takes us into part 5, A New Beginning. Okay, I used to hate this movie so much. I used to think this is the one. Spoiler alert, with the imposter, Jason.
Okay.
Yeah, Roy Burns.
Okay.
That's why I hated it. Have you ever seen it?
I don't know if I have or not, honestly. Quite honestly. I'm sure.
Now,
I don't know.
With that said, I have learned to really appreciate that film.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, I like it. I enjoy it these days. I've enjoyed it for several years. I think it has similarities with the original that none of the others in the franchise have. Okay, like since I'm spoiling some stuff for you here.
Right, go ahead.
Okay, well, I mean,
Fine.
like I said, Jason, there's an imposter.
Okay.
And that's why so many people hated it, because you find out that it's not even Jason. Right?
Yeah, I don't think I have seen that, honestly.
Okay, well, actually, I probably didn't ruin much for you because it's got a really great cheesy vibe to it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But it also a lot of kills, because a lot of times with these movies back then, to get the ratings down, they would have to just, take out this kill, cut this down, which sucks because we wanted all that, But
I mean, they're already rated R. What were they? Just trying
They're
to keep from?
getting down to R to stay away from X.
Gotcha.
And the
Gotcha.
censors, especially back then, man. Nowadays, a lot of the stuff they cut wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
Just be a R. But when stuff got cut, it got cut. It's not like they took it and put it in the vault and we'll let it. We'll put it on the DVD.
Yeah, they didn't put out an unrated version later
because people are just gonna watch this in the theater. And I think VHS was just starting to hit around that time. But anyway, so that was it. That was the final chapter. They killed off Jason. I don't. They make so much money with these movies. Why are they always trying to end them? I don't get that. They're like, this is gonna be the last one.
Well, it's like you never know. I mean, the fans just may say no. You know what I mean?
I guess they think, well, if they think it's the last one, it's like Terry Funk's retirement. Oh, it's Terry Funk's retirement match. We better again. We better go. It's his retirement match tour.
That's the whole selling point. This is the last one. Y'all better get in here and watch it.
If you want to see it, you got to see it here.
It's like that's what you said last year, and the year before that, and the year before that, and the year before that.
I'll wait for the laser disc.
Right. You're gonna be waiting for a while, buddy.
But with that said, they were putting them out like that, like yearly.
Yeah.
So part 5, the imposter. Now I feel like the fact that you haven't seen it, I hate saying all this stuff in front of you, but I'm gonna say it because his son gets killed in the movie, and it's like he's like Pamela. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But people, we didn't put that together back then.
Gotcha.
And again, it's very low budget looking movie, cheesy. Corey Feldman's character returns. Corey Feldman returns just for the beginning, but he couldn't commit to the film.
Okay.
Yeah, because he was doing something else. It was something like one of those Goonie movie. Yeah, It could have been Goonies. Could have been Goonies he's doing. But he's at the very beginning. They actually came down and set up his backyard for the scene and stuff. But okay, I like that movie for everything for what it is. Also got some great characters, great classic lines. But Richie the Reckless. He's a great character. You should just watch it sometime, man.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you have it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no. Well, yeah, that was a dumb question.
No, there's a time I wouldn't have it. There are certain movies I wouldn't own. In fact, when I talk to Nightmare on Elm Street, I'll tell you the one Nightmare on Elm Street movie I don't think I own. I might have had too much to drink one night and bought it for some reason. Sometimes, I do things for my sober self. I like to surprise me. Anyway, not that I suggest that, but so anyway, that was part 5. But people didn't like part 5. So what do you do?
Well, you gotta do another one.
Yeah, you bring back Jason. That's why part 6 called Jason Lives.
Okay.
And so you have a different actor playing the Tommy character in part 5, and now we have another actor playing the Tommy character. And I really love this guy playing Tommy Jarvis. His name escapes me right now. I actually interviewed him one time, and I actually kind of fanboyed out on him.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because we're at the. It's it doesn't. I'll just say he's a good guy. I say he's a real nice guy, even when I kind of trip, and I don't trip.
Yeah,
I've fanned out a little bit on like maybe 2 people in my life.
Okay.
This guy and Raven.
Okay.
Okay.
I understand that.
Yeah, so it was a little bit of just me I was being professional with him. Then right there at the end, I was like, hey, man, you are Tommy Jarvis, okay? You are the definitive Tommy Jarvis. I was like, you were like a hero to so many of us. And he's just a nice older guy. And he's like, okay, thank you. I'm like, yeah. Didn't mean to spring that on you. But that was funny because I got to interview a bunch of Nightmare on Elm Street actors, and I was supposed to really just stick to that.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, Tommy Jarvis is here. I'm going to go interview him.
What was it for?
Frightmare. And this is back when I was working with TJF.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
Back when we would do hustles like that and stuff,
Right
and
on.
that footage I had all these interviews. And clips of them have showed up, but the interviews never saw the light of day, bro. The ball really got dropped there, just like with the Boondocks wrestling interview. I've done some cool stuff, but yeah, shout out Boondocks. Never mind. Shout out class. Anyway, neither here nor there. Cut that. Just cut that. No, I still like Boondocks. I don't care. But anyway,
Doesn't affect my life.
back to that. That's the consensus.
Yeah.
Back to Friday the 13th. So we bring him back in part 6. And he comes back to Tommy accidentally brings him back to life while trying to destroy his corpse, which is funny. If you go back and watch, you're like, that gummit, Tommy. Everything that happens, everybody that dies from that point at the beginning of part 6 is Tommy's fault. Because Jason was dead. And he's like, no, I got to make sure he's dead by accidentally bringing him back to life. He even says, he's like, I up. But I have a theory about that too, that Tommy, because they really touch on it in part 5, that Tommy is being haunted by Jason.
Okay.
In a sense, and that he might become Jason. So I always thought subconsciously he wanted to bring Jason back so that he could fight him and not be him.
Okay.
You know?
Yep.
But part 6 is one of the best endings. Is my favorite, where they don't, to beat Jason, they always say, kill him at the end. You don't really kill him. You beat him.
Right.
But they puts the chain around his neck, and like I just love that he didn't blow him up, he didn't shoot him, burn him, stab him. They chained him to the lake,
Sunk him down there.
that should be like, that's to me how you should stop Jason.
That's a fitting ending or resting place.
Yeah,
Let's
because
put it
you're
that
putting him
way.
back in the lake you originally drowned in.
Yes.
Did he drown? Did he survive? How do we know? No continuity.
Right.
So part 6, awesome, wonderful film. Really enjoy it. And then that takes us to part 7, where we get Kane freaking Hodder.
Hell yeah.
Putting on the mask. Now, those excuse me. It's funny because my favorite Friday 13ths are not the one with Kane Hodder, but Kane Hodder is my favorite Jason.
How does that work?
Yeah, I know, it's weird. It's weird, man.
It's
It's weird.
The Jason's awesome. The rest of the movies.
Well, okay. So part 7 is supposed to, it's where they bring in this young girl with the psychic powers and stuff.
Okay.
And she's essentially supposed to be Carrie. The idea that this is Jason versus Carrie.
Gotcha.
And it's fun. And of course, Kane Hodder is excellent as Jason. Jason looks great now. He's he's undead and he's got all these, he just looks great.
Yeah.
He looks like a zombie with a hockey mask. He's awesome. He looks like this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot like this guy. And it goes the way it goes, has some cool scenes in it and stuff, but of course, he gets beat at that one, and then that takes us into part 8. Part 8, Jason on a boat, aka Jason Takes Manhattan. Gum, dude.
This is a terrible movie.
This is the
I'm
worst,
sorry, it's a
bro.
terrible movie. I have seen that. I have seen this one.
Now, with that said, Kane Hodder's Jason looks so cool in that movie. That is the coolest looking Jason to me.
Okay, I see where you're going with that.
So
now.
cool. The movie's trash. Like there's like no likable characters. I'm glad they all died. Well, save for Julius, the boxer. And that is my favorite scene in all the Friday the 13th movies. My least favorite Friday the 13th movie has my favorite Jason and my favorite scene.
Is that worse than one?
One's not bad. This is bad.
Okay,
One's
gotcha.
just Jasonless.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. I understand.
This movie, well, here's a movie that they had this grand big gimmick. Well, we're going to take him to New York.
Yeah.
Well, they ended up not having the money for that, so it's really Jason Goes to Canada, and they get about 10 minutes shot in New York.
Okay.
And like that scene with him and Julius, that was supposed to be in Madison Square Garden.
Gotcha.
And there was supposed to be a scene where like Jason bought a hockey team.
Awesome.
It's like and stuff. And that's why you see the hockey mask.
Gotcha.
Thing up there. It's like there's a lot of cool.
Would have been nice.
Yeah, and like
Great
Kane Hodder,
ideas.
he says it was so awesome walking down the street as Jason and watching people just freak out and stuff. Fun fact: the guy that plays Jason in Freddy vs. Jason actually has a small role in this. And
Ken.
yeah, King
Kersinger.
Kersinger. Yeah, I didn't even try it. He's actually
Kersinger?
Jason grabs him and throws him at one
Okay.
point, and I just love that these days now because I'm like,
Well, you're gonna have to point that out when we get to that.
sure,
Okay.
sure.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
no, that's what I'm
Or-
saying. That this was in part 8. Jason Takes
Oh,
Manhattan.
my bad. I'm sorry.
Right, and
Okay,
let me
gotcha,
ask you this. So in Jason Takes Manhattan, they get on a cruise line, and then he follows them because they came to Camp Crystal Lake. Okay, so Camp Crystal Lake's in like New Jersey area, right?
Something like that.
Right. So they have an ocean liner that's going to New York in a lake in Jersey. Do you have a map?
It's a fictional movie.
Yeah.
It's very fictional.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they took one of them little creeks or something, the ocean liner did. Or maybe they picked it up and carried it to the ocean. Maybe it flew a little bit. It was like one of those gimmicks from the Avengers, and it's going to fly up there. No, they even know. Yes, the people at Maze Movie, they're like, how do you get there?
We're not gonna worry about that.
Movie magic.
We're
Movie
not gonna worry
magic.
about that part.
So I'm just saying right there, I'm already having a hard time with the movie. As a kid, even watching something like, lake's connected to the ocean? Like, that move. I probably argued with a teacher or something.
There might be a river that connects.
Yeah. It's like, where did the Pilgrims land? New Jersey. I don't know. Anyway, so Jason Takes Manhattan. Like I said, some stuff I love about it, but for the most part, it's trash. But if you like it, cool. A lot of people do. Great. That posters, the whole Jason slasher, that's cool. Yeah. So anyway, and then that takes our next, it becomes Jason Goes to Hell. Okay. I didn't think they could get worse really after Jason Takes Manhattan. But they found a way. They did. It's like, well, how do you make a Friday the 13th movie worse? Like, well, we could take Jason out of it. Huh. I bet Friday the 13th fans are sick of Jason. I bet they want to come to a movie and not see Jason. They're like, we keep going to these Friday the 13th movies and I hate hockey masks.
I was disappointed that Jason was in Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, why didn't they think
well
about
that
Freddy
works?
versus Jason?
See how well that works?
But with that said, the first 10 minutes of that movie with Kane Hodder as it is, Kane Hodder is Jason, and this really more based on that with we call him Meatball Jason.
Okay.
Some people call him less flattering things. Anyway, like
looks like he's been burnt up.
oh yeah, the mask. It is a cool look. It is a cool look for him. And I don't know, and this is the one where Jason started tucking his shirt in for some reason.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah, his shirt's tucked in. I was always like, why Jason? Like, just one day he's like, you know what? I've lost a little weight. I think next killing spree, I'll see. Maybe one of these girls will stop and talk to me instead of running off all the time, tripping over stuff. Jeez. Anyway,
There's always that carefully placed log.
yeah, my mama says I'm handsome, boy. The first 10 minutes is really cool. Then Jason gets blown up, and from there on, the movie is what the movie is. Kane Hodder has a cameo without the mask in that. It's funny. He's the one that they say something because Jason body hops in this one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous, bro. He like the way he body hops is like basically making out. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, and like the demon thing. It's bad, bro. I consider that movie glorified fan fiction. The Necronomicon makes an appearance in it.
Yeah.
So because the director was trying to maybe tie it to Evil Dead
Gotcha.
in a sense. But listen, okay, bro. And some people tried. Oh gosh, one day I was going off on that movie. Like I was like, it's glorified fan fiction. I was tearing up in a group, Facebook group. The director was in there. Yeah, he was a member of that group, man. And he was like, I'm so glad you think like what like what I was trying to do. And I was like, you're not supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to have to answer to you, Yeah, and so I'm careful about that. I mean, shout out to him for being in a group like that and actually replying,
Right. That's hilarious, though.
And shout out to me for keeping it real. No, I mean, the dude, it's better than any movie I ever made. So I'm not mad at him. I know there's a lot of he didn't make all those calls about taking out Jason. Who would? He's whatever. See, I'm already start backpedaling. I'm like, in case you're watching this, he's like, that guy again. Mom, why didn't he like me?
Oh, that ain't gonna help your case at all.
No. Okay, so but listen, in my defense, when they showed the Voorhees house, they misspelled Voorhees.
Really?
There's one O. Okay, and I might have seen them in another group. Somebody tagged him, and I was like, "How do you spell Voorhees?" And I clicked out, and I posted the picture. But anyway, that was petty. But whatever.
How do you misspell your lead character's name?
Yeah, now I don't think the director did it, but it still happened on his watch. You know what I mean?
Well, he's supposed to have. Surely he's overlooking editing.
So yeah, that gets me to the point where I'm like, is this? I'm telling you, the fan films we see today blow it away. They blow away Jason Goes Down. However, one of the coolest things does happen in that movie, and that is at the end when Freddy's glove busts up through the ground and grabs Jason's mask. Fun fact, the guy that did that, Kane Hodder.
Okay.
So technically Kane Hodder has played Freddy.
Oh.
Yeah. He's got them all, brother.
That's pretty awesome.
Okay, so that is that's how so that's where really that's kind of like in Predator 2, how we saw the alien skull. I'm like, oh, they're in the same universe. Right. So this is where we all start getting cooking,
Gotcha.
And Kane Hodder said every time he was Jason, they talked about Freddy versus Jason. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And after that, you get Jason X, which I love. I first one I saw in theaters. Last time we got Kane Hodder in the hockey mask. I think it's great. A lot of people write it off as the one in space. Hey, if you can't get over that, that's fine. That's your prerogative. I think it's great. Very entertaining. Some of the best kills in the franchise. It's a lot of fun.
Okay.
And, so where he turns into I actually had a conversation about Jamie Madrox about that one time, man.
Really?
Yeah, like that's when we were at the Mirror signing, and I asked him because it just came out like the night before, and I hadn't seen it, but I was like, oh, have you seen Jason X yet? He's like, no, have you? And I was like, no. He's like, let me ask you a question. And he moved something in on this on this tablecloth. He had drawn a square with a hockey mask on it, and he's like, does that scare you? And I was like, it's terrifying. He's like, that's not scary. He's like, that's a toaster with a hockey mask. He's like, no, come here, come over here, stand over here. And he wanted to keep talking, so he pulled me over behind his table and stood there. And he's like, and he kept signing autographs, but turning around talking to me about it. And I'm just like, what am I doing here? In fact, I'm even like holding something, and he's just in autograph mode, and he's like, reached that, took it out of my hand, just signed it, put it back. I was like,
sign that.
oh, thank you. I saw it was go anyway. That's a good memory. I have Jason X right there. And
Toaster with the hockey.
Yeah, that's what he said. I always want to ask him again. It's like, do you still fly away? But and he's like, what? But anytime I've been around him since, I haven't had the opportunity to talk to him. In fact, the only time I got a situation where he kind of looked at me like, who are you? Why are you here? But anyway, what was I saying then? Okay, so I love Jason X. Like I said, first one I got to see in the theater, so that counts for something. And then that was it. That was it for the whole. That's Jason's cinema. So those are that's you understand the concept now of Friday the 13th because you didn't before, and now
I
you
had
do.
No idea.
Now you do, and that leads us to where we're at now. But I got to run through Nightmare on Elm Street, and it shouldn't take too long. You can get it. Anyway, you can just whatever. Put me in speed and a half, But okay, Nightmare on Elm Street. The first Nightmare on Elm Street movie, absolute classic. Wonderful film. Most people's favorite. People's favorite. There's only another one that rivals it, and I'll get to that. But it's not part two.
No.
So I don't have to really talk about the first Nightmare on Elm Street. It is iconic film. The you've seen Secret of the Ooze, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
So they got you the last one, aren't you? That guy. That's that actor. I forget his name. Something. He was actually the first guy that was going to play Freddy. I believe.
Oh really?
Yeah. They did the makeup and everything, but something happened with the scheduling, and he couldn't do it. So they ended up going with Robert Englund.
Man, we lucked out on that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I want to say it was actually. I could be wrong about this. I'll correct myself if it wasn't. It was Mark Hamill that told Robert Englund to go audition.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so like Luke Skywalker kind of made Freddy Krueger in a sense. Cool. Yeah, he played a part. Because I think they were roommates at that time. And Robert Englund had been on a show called V, where he played like this alien. So he had a fan base, but it wasn't horror.
Gotcha.
And I think his name was Willie on there. People were like, Willie.
Willie the alien.
So, yeah. So anyway, we could do a whole nother show on Nightmare. If we're going to do that, we could actually just... This though is the first one of what I call the Nancy trilogy.
Okay.
Yes, like with those other three Friday the 13th, with Tommy, I call those the Tommy trilogy. Okay. Those three, and people seem to go, oh, cool. Gotcha. And in Halloween, there's a Laurie trilogy. Now there's like 3 Laurie trilogies.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Lauries there though.
Gosh, you want to talk about a timeline? Okay. Anyway, it's like you don't like this timeline? Watch this timeline. So anyway, then Nightmare on Elm Street. Part two. Part two. I used to hate it. I really did, but like Friday Part 5, I have come to love that film. It's really good. But it's really different, and the concept would have worked better further down the line in the franchise.
Okay,
people weren't ready yet. Well, you know what? The director didn't even like the first one. I didn't really get it. I saw this interview with him. He's like, when they asked me to do it, I didn't really want to because I didn't get it. I didn't really like it, but it's a job. Or something like that. Dude, the way they have picked directors for these movies is just head scratching.
Who can we afford?
Yeah, well, yes, and I mean they don't hardly ever reuse the same directors on them, and you're like, that's why we get all this continuity messed up.
Yeah, you don't have the same person trying to tell the story.
Yeah, somebody started telling the story, say, well, I want to continue that story. So
oh no, we're gonna start over. But now my version.
Part 2 is essentially considered the gayest because there's so many homosexual undertones. They're obvious. They're not really undertones. They're obvious. And they're there. So in the gay community, it's celebrated and loved for that. What I love about it is, number one, Freddy's makeup. That is the coolest looking Freddy in Part 2. He is scary. They tried to kind of do more of a witch look, kind of, like it was because they didn't have the original makeup guy. The original makeup guy was doing another job.
Okay.
So this guy had to start from scratch with it,
All right.
And so he did that, and I think it was really great. It has some of the most iconic scenes in the entire franchise. You're all my children now, and you've got the body, I got the brain. It's so many great scenes in this movie that, for any of its flaws, are very forgivable. It's actually a pretty good, except for Mark Patton's dance number. No, I'm just kidding. Dude, Mark Patton, he was in it. And it's the only one too where it's a male Freddy's after. He's not chasing after a female. You know, it's something nowadays like, oh, you know, all these guys, masculine guys don't want to see strong females, or they don't want to see a female that can beat up you know, I'm like
every horror movie.
we grew up on every horror movie, okay? You know, freaking Nancy, Lori, Ripley, you know, I mean,
oh gosh, yeah.
it's always they call it a final girl for a reason. Has to be a female. You know, it just has to. That's just law. And you know, no, I'm serious, because what if a guy does it, it's like, okay, I guess you were tougher than the monster, you know? Because it's kind of like in wrestling, you want your baby face you want a big bad guy and a small baby face, you know? So you can root for him. It's like they need you to root for him, you know? So anyway, that just were, but Mark Patton was technically the first male scream queen. Okay. Essentially. He is, and like he was already gay. He wasn't open at the time. But when you go back and watch that movie, it's very clear that he's struggling with that, and the girl, the love interest, is more of a friend in it, and I think they kiss or something. But you look back, you're like, it makes way more sense. He's gay, you know, because it just does. So movies beat up way too much. People call it trash. I'm like, no, go back and really watch it, or think about all the time they show these montages. There's a lot of those in there because the scenes are iconic. Director may have not liked Nightmare on Elm Street. His story wasn't a good concept, but he did some great shots, you know, so it's totally worth watching. Anyway, any one of these movies I could just keep talking about, but I'm gonna keep going now. Now, Dream Warriors Part 3.
Dream Warriors,
my favorite.
I like Dream Warriors a lot.
Dream Warriors, if the original's not the most popular, Dream Warriors is 100,000%. It is what a sequel should be, man. I'm saying they added to the Freddy mythos without messing it up.
Yeah,
they brought in new characters, but also brought back original characters. You know. And they brought back Wes Craven originally too. He didn't direct it, but he started to. Okay. And he started to write it and stuff. This was his concept, and I love. They had Weston Hills. He was in the mental institution. You got a young Lawrence Fishburne in there. You know, Larry. He is Larry in there. Okay, cool breeze. He's great. You got one of my favorite characters, Kincaid.
Oh, I like Kincaid.
I love Kincaid, bro. And get this, I love Kincaid so much, and I quoted him one day in some horror con group or something like that. Time to stop guessing and start messing. Because I used to, when I'd get scared about Freddy when I was a kid or something, I would think about Kincaid, and I'd be like, and I'd be like, you know, Freddy. I'd be like, time to stop. And I'd go Kincaid, you know, and I'd be like, yeah. And I really relate to that part where they're learning about their dream powers, and he picks up the chair, and everybody's showing off their stuff, and he bends it, and the teacher's like, Kincaid. You know, it's like, you can't get a break, you know? Dude. It's like, you're not like, whoa, you're bending there. You're like, oh, please, calm down. You know, it's like, dude, give him a break. It was funny how he said he got that role, like, because they wanted a real big, buff, athletic dude to be this part. And he said, he's like, I'm not going to get this role. I don't know what I'm reading. And he got, like, he was at the bus stop, and he got rained on and everything. And he was just mad. He's just sitting there in the waiting room. And he said he walked in, and they were like, okay, just do whatever you want. He's like, you know, that's what I want to do. And he went off on him because he was so mad. They're like, you're Kincaid, you know? Oh, but no, I was in like this con group or something like that, and I quoted him in that. And dude, I know there's a lot of BS out there, but legit, he was in that group, and he messaged me, and he's like, hey man, I appreciate that. Oh, that's awesome. And then he said, hey, you know, and then he was like, you know, I'm gonna actually be at that con and stuff. You ought to come by and say hi if you're there. And I was like, dude, thank you. You just made my day, man. Wow. He's like, well, man, he's like, thank you, and y'all gave me, guys like you gave me a career, man. He's like, it's been a blessing. He's a real good guy. He works with like orphan kids and stuff, like, or something like that. My buddy Tony Myers, who I feel like I'm always shouting out when we do these podcasts, and he's never said anything, so he doesn't watch them. But he's actually he's done some stuff with them, like got him for some cons and things like that. And he gave me an autograph of him one time. I was actually at a show. Well, they were doing a con, and there was a wrestling thing. And anyway, and I was supposed to go meet him, but I got irritated about some business, and I just left. And so my boy Tony came through. Was like, hey, I got to give you an autograph. Right on. Like, thank you. Cool. You know. Yeah, anyway, so once again, shout out. Hey, Tony, you ever watch this? Call me up. I'll send you some money. Anyway, you know, he's not gonna watch it. Or he would have by now. Anyway, okay. So Part 3, so good. Love the movie. Now Dream Warriors. Dream Master. The next one, that is one of the most popular, I think. It's kind of considered the MTV. That's really the peak of Nightmares, Part 4. Hate what they did with the Dream Warriors, because you got these surviving characters, and they just like off them and
disappear.
Yeah, this director, he just He's a big old Finnish guy, and I think he just wanted, I don't know, just wanted to make a movie. I don't know. But it made a lot of money. People were like, well, it made more money than Dream Warriors. I'm like, well, why do you think everybody went and saw it?
Because of Dream Warriors.
Because of Dream Warriors. Because Dream Warriors are so good. So, part 4 is what it is. It was the first one I ever watched all the way through. See, I tried to watch the original, but I was like the whole movie just. So I didn't really watch it. And I'd be like, okay, I'm going to look. And all of a sudden I see Freddy. I'm like, oh. And I went and returned some tapes to a video store one time because they had a Nightmare Part 2 cardboard cutout of Freddy, and I was about to walk in and I saw him in there, dude, and I ran back to the car. No, Freddy's in there. Like that dude, y'all just people may not understand like how big Freddy was and how scary. Like he's everywhere and he's scary, and they're just like not even. I mean, this burning dude going ah.
I don't know. I think honestly, one of the first times I was introduced to Freddy Krueger was, I honestly think it might have been one of my neighbors had a Freddy Krueger Halloween mask.
Ah, yeah, I had one of those.
Like a very nice.
Yeah, rubber one kind of store right here.
Yes, yes. I mean, this would have been in.
I know what you're talking about. It was a pretty popular mask.
Yeah.
You could get the mask and the sweater, which was just kind of a shirt and the claw.
Yeah.
And they had a hat too, but it was trash.
Yeah.
A kid wore it to school one day, and I straight up, bro, in junior high, and I was like, I want that. What do you want for it? And I think I bought it from him for like $5-10, which to a junior high kid was so much money. I had to pay him. I had to finance it, bro. It might have been like 15. I don't know. And like I'd give him enough, then he'd be like, okay, that's the shirt. Like get it. I'd pay him all. He's like, yeah, that's the mask. Like that's Jared Cook. Shout out Jared Cook for something. He'd be like, you still got my Freddy Krueger stuff?
That was my neighbor. I'm not kidding. They lived right behind me. Dead serious, bro. Dead serious.
I bought that stuff from him.
Yeah,
dude. No, I had no
Jared
idea.
And Nathan and
Jared, Nathan, Chris.
Yeah, they lived right behind me.
Dude, that's
Whenever
nuts.
I was in first and second grade.
That's crazy, dude.
In Graham.
That's so nuts. And I'm like, and I'm thinking like, wow, 2 people in Graham had it. That's crazy. No, one, Jared.
Yeah, Jared.
And I bought it from him.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
financed it. Had it forever too.
That's funny.
That is cool. You're like, that's him. That's Jared. I thought you were saying, hey, I know Jared. I'm like, yeah, sure.
No, that was my neighbor.
People know Jared, dude. Right on.
Behind us. Yeah.
He worked with Levi for a long time too in the ambulance. Yeah, because that's what he does and stuff. Yeah, I like Jared. I like those Cook brothers. They're cool guys. Chris does some cool stuff. Like he's always going off hunting in like Africa and stuff, and he uses these air pressure rifles and stuff. It's really cool. Really cool. Anyway, great, really interesting guy to talk to.
That's hilarious.
Shout out to Cook brothers. I saw Jared at Walmart and I accidentally called him Chris. I was like, "What's up, Chris?" I was like, "Jared, I knew it was one of you Cook boys." Yeah. And I think he was like, "Still got my Freddy Kruegers?" I'm like, yeah, I got it. I don't, Anyway, so moving.
They exposed me to a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they're some wild boys, man.
They're quite a bit older than me.
Yeah, because I am, and Jared was my grade. So right on, dude. That's crazy. I almost need to take a second just to process, but you're like, that's my neighbor. Hilarious. That'd be funny if you would have argued. No, it looked like this, and I'm like, no, dude. That's yeah. Anyway, that all threw me off. But so, part 4, yeah. What I didn't like about part 4 was like, essentially, she beats Freddy with a mirror. She's like, make the demon see his reflection. Don't worry about the fact that in part 3 there are mirrors all over the place. For some reason now it's okay. Freddy's weakness is a mirror, and he's like, that's what I look like. Oh no, I'm done. And that's how they beat him. I guess I don't know. It's got some cool scenes in there and some lame scenes. I talked to you. Remember the kung fu dude in there? They're doing all the karate and stuff.
I guess.
Okay, the brother that I'll keep this short because I interviewed him too, but. So he got a lot of that. A lot of his stuff was cut out of the movie. He was one of those guys. I don't know what his deal was. He apparently was not well liked by certain people.
Okay.
It's so much like when everybody else would get a crew jacket, he wouldn't.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to like they ended up killing him off in the bathroom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was all supposed to be different. And
we're just done with you, dude.
Yeah, it kind of was. And they like he said he had all this kung fu stuff, choreographed stuff memorized, and they're like, no, just throw wild punches. Just throw wild punches. But anyway, so like I'm interviewing him at Frightmare, and I like that character, and he's cool. And I'm like, yeah, I was like, I'm doing an interview. He's like, okay, who are you with? I was like, well, I'm with the event because I'm not gonna say TJF at that point because because we're working for the event. I'm like, I'm with the event. He's like, yeah. He's like, I'll do an interview with you. What's off the table? I was like, well, what do you mean? He's like, what can I not talk about? I was like, man, you could talk about anything you want. I was like, I'll dance around or whatever. He goes, okay. He's like, yeah, okay. Well, I was just, you come to places like this that are kind of in the middle of nowhere, and then they want to put you up in a crap room. And he's like, and they give you like one little bottle of wine. And he just kind of went off on the whole place. I mean, he was cool. And he was nice to me, but he just buried this whole event. And I'm like, and I'm laughing. I'm doing you. I'm right there. I'm going. I'm like, well, this one's not getting. I understand why that one never saw a light of day. And he was just cool. He was real cool to me. So I don't. They're all cool. I've never met a celebrity that somebody I consider a celebrity that's not cool.
Yeah.
The closest thing would be Jared from Head PE, and he's not even. He's like a D class celebrity. Yeah. Play the Clue. Anyway, so moving on from there, Rick, that was his name in the movie, the Karate Kid. So he was a cool character, but I guess that's probably why he didn't have much of a career afterwards or whatever. But because I don't even know if he was originally supposed to die like he did. Like I think he was supposed to be in it more or whatnot. Moving on, part 4, and we're on part 5. Oh my gosh, part 5. No thanks. No thanks. Dream Child. Stupid. It's dumb, dude. There's nothing redeeming in that movie. Oh, that little kid, the kid's performance. Jacob, no, his name wasn't Jacob, but that little boy, he was. No, I take that back. He wasn't good either. Nah, he wasn't good. I was getting him confused for a minute with somebody else. He wasn't that good either. He was kind of annoying. But Freddy in this one is kind of a broken Freddy. I always thought it was weird. It just looked made for TV.
Yeah,
it looked cheap. I think Robert Englund was burned out on being Freddy at this point. Because this. A lot more cheesy. And people complain about that. I've got a theory about that. People are like, oh,
Yeah, it was very Gouda.
Yeah. Wait, Gouda?
Yeah.
What's Gouda?
It's a type of cheese.
Cheese. Okay, thank you. There you go. I thought it was, but these kids, I don't know the new slangs. But like, so like, I don't know. It just, so much of that it just felt weird. I remember watching it and just being like, huh. They got Weston Hills in there for a little bit, which I was like, ooh, because that's shout out back to part 3.
Right.
But even then, they didn't do much because like in part 3, you got Sister Mary Helen, the mother of Freddy. That was great. That was awesome. They kind of revisit that in part 5, but it just didn't work for me. The at the beginning, what is cool, even though it still feels, it almost feels dirty watching that movie. Like you're watching like, anyway, that's me. Somebody said I'm not a real fan if I don't like that one, so I guess I'm not a fan. But anyway, like no, Robert Englund has because they're the whole son of 100 maniacs and everything, So Robert Englund is actually playing one of those maniacs. You see him, he goes right by the camera, looks right at it. It's
really?
great. Yeah, you got to catch that. And that's funny because people will be like, which one of those maniacs you think was Freddy's father? I always screenshot probably that one. Probably Robert Englund.
Just like him.
So part 5, if you like it, bless you. I don't care. I don't like the concept either. The whole thing having to do with pregnancy and all that. I'm not into it. And plus, Alice survives 2 movies. She has no business surviving 2 movies. Okay, I talked to her about that because I interviewed all these years. She's a sweetheart too.
Yeah,
she was cool. She was like, "Yeah, they should just bring me back." And I'm like, "I know." Yeah. Anyway, so we'll move there. Part 5, whatever. If you like it, that's cool. I don't own it. I do not believe I own it. I don't think so. I have it on a USB for free because I remember I was getting movies on a USB from somebody, and I was like, you know what? You got Nightmare 5? I was like, yeah, put it on there. I was like, just in case I'm ever like, I hate my life. I want to beat me up. I need to ruin my day. Just in case. I at least say I have it. Sorry, my mustache messing with me. But so anyway, that's part 6. A lot of people hate part 6. Freddy's dead because let's kill the cash cow.
Right.
After part 5, yeah, kill him. Put a bullet in the head of that sick dog. But like, no, I got to see that in theaters. Me and Sam, the other Sam, not yourself, of course.
Not me.
Our dads took us. We met. That's when our dads got to meet. And then the next day was the first time I ever went and stayed at his house. So really cool little memory there. In the last 10 minutes was in 3D. We thought the whole movie would be, but it wasn't, and that's fine. There's a lot of stuff in that one. I get why people don't like it. I honestly do. I don't like what they added to it, trying to give Freddy a daughter and all this, played by Lisa Zane, sister of Billy. So that counts for something. You got a lot of good stuff in that movie. So I don't care. Like I said, if I watched it today, I'd never seen it before and watched it. Yeah, I'd probably think it was not hot. But at the time, it was great. And it scared me. Awesome. Freddy's dead, and they never put him in another movie again because he was dead. Right?
No, not even close.
Well, Jason's dead. Freddy's dead. What the heck's this movie about? Okay. So anyway, that's my rundown. Oh, no, I'm not done, because the third one of the Nancy trilogy, 1, 3, and A New Nightmare.
A New Nightmare.
Wes Craven's new. Bring back the man that started it all, Wes Craven. Okay, New Nightmare is so underappreciated. Like, I think now it's found its fan base, but at the time it was just ahead of its time.
Yeah.
The whole meta concept and everything about it's really good. And
Yeah, I saw it not so long ago. I rewatched it. So
yeah, I totally
enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's where the kid was great. That's where I'm thinking the kid was a great actor, and he was also in that young man was also in Pet Sematary and something else maybe. Yeah, he was Gage in that. So that kid, yeah. I don't know, just this kid growing up on Stephen King movies and Freddy Krueger movies.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, there's this scene where they needed him to cry. This is a sad story, but it's short. They needed him to cry, and they're like, "Hey, Dylan was the character's name." They're like, "Is there anything, how can y'all make him cry?" His parents like, his dad's like, I know how to make him cry. He's like, yeah. He's like, it's bad. He's like, but I can make him cry. He went and told him his mom died.
Holy crap.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, no.
Wow.
Yeah, and then he broke down. And
Wow.
then, yeah.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah. So
That's twisted.
yeah, and that's shame on the parent for that,
Yeah.
dude. Honestly,
It's pretty gross, really.
Yeah, I agree. And now I'm taking it out of context. It might have not been that bad. I don't know. I wasn't there. But yeah, shame on them for that, dude. Because I mean, whatever. Anyway, maybe if my kid was getting paid a lot, I don't know, I'd be like, I'll make him cry.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Yeah. I'm just trying to be whatever it is, where you're just trying to be like, well, maybe there's something there different. I don't know. Okay, kid's doing fine now. I mean, he obviously didn't mess him up, but dad, go, man.
Yeah. No.
So anyway, that now we're done, because Freddy, that was the last. I'm getting a little bit of.
Yeah, I just got some too.
Okay.
All right, it went away.
Okay. Now then Freddy was dead for real. So actually, technically, he was still dead since it was taking place in the real world. Freaking anyway, I could talk more about all those movies, but that's a crash course. Now you didn't know anything about Nightmare on Elm Street, and now you know everything about it, and you're borderline expert because of my knowledge that I dropped on you. And
Well, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it.
absolutely, man. Yeah, I will also say in Freddy's Dead, like there is this Bob Shea cameo that it should have been Robert Englund, but anyway, neither here nor there. Bob Shea, he was like the producer behind Nightmare on Elm Street. Wes Craven, it was his film. Well, he brought it to New Line, and New Line was Bob Shea's company.
Oh, okay.
And so New Line, I don't know if people always realize just like how small they were, and then they did Nightmare on Elm Street, and how they started getting big, and then they did Ninja Turtles.
Of course.
And Ninja Turtles, like,
Epic.
I think, it might be the highest grossing movie in the 90s because it was so low budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a completely low budget film. They did not think it was going to work. That's why they went more with the comic book source material, because if you watch it, it is a comic book movie.
Yeah.
But of course this isn't about that. We could talk about Ninja Turtles if you want. If you want, I don't care. Ninja Turtles 1, 2, or 3 if you need.
Unnecessary.
Yeah, I don't. 3 might have redeeming qualities. I don't know. I haven't watched it since I saw it in theaters. I remember the comic version was okay, but when you're stuck in the car, whatever. So now everybody, our viewers, that's my crash run through these films, and that puts us to the point where we've seen there's some great movies, and there are some not great movies, but there are people for all of those movies. There's people that love Freddy's baby child and freaking Jason on a boat, Jason on the cruise. People that love them, and that's cool. I'm glad, because I'm not going to tell somebody, I'm not going to sit and argue with somebody and tell them it's stupid, because there's a lot of people that think all these movies are stupid.
Yeah.
And they think we're stupid.
Yes, definitely.
It's like, I don't know, arguing with your brother whose family sucks worse. You come from a bad family. You come from a bad family. It's the same family. So I'm the same way with wrestling fans. I'm like, would y'all stop arguing with each other? AEW, WWE, you're stupid. It's like, we're wrestling fans. Everybody hates us, I guess I got to talk about the remakes just for a second. Sorry, my mustache is driving me crazy. Didn't have time to shave. What do you know about that? Mustaches. Anyway, no, I want to talk about just the remakes real quick. I didn't hate the remakes. I like them both. A lot of people do. Like I said, I intentionally got this glove because I like the design. It's kind of a pain to put on and stuff. But
yeah, the Freddy remake, the only thing I didn't really care for that was they made him a pedo.
Well, Freddy was originally intended to be, but some scandalous stuff happened just before that movie would start getting made. So they say we have to back away from that.
Gotcha.
That's why he's a child killer.
Gotcha.
Yeah, which it's still there. If you look and watch Freddy, he is a sick person. And look, here's my thing with what the movie we're about to get to. If even before the movie made, people want to debate who's going to win. Well, I want to say I think offhand I know who's right and who's wrong in this. To me, Jason's not a villain.
No, I think it. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Jason
not
is
really his fault.
Yeah, he's a victim of circumstance.
Yeah.
And he's territorial.
Yes.
Leave him alone.
Yes.
And he just wants to mourn his mother in peace. Leave him alone, and you won't die. Okay. Freddy, on the other hand, Freddy likes his work.
Yes.
Freddy likes being Freddy. Freddy likes going after children in their bed.
Yeah.
At sleep, the most vulnerable you can be.
True.
And that's the most comfortable, safest place you want to be at. And that's where he gets you.
There's something on that. What was I watching the other day? Final Nightmare or whatever. There's a quote from Nietzsche talking about that, about the fear and the vulnerability of being asleep. And it's true though.
I love those quotes at the beginning. In part 3, it says Edgar Allan Poe's. It says like sleep, those little slices of death, how I loathe thee. It's a good quote. Anyway, like so yeah, Freddy is evil. He's if you really think about it, and I don't know if I've ever brought this up on Scarecrow before, that like just like Jason, who's a victim of circumstance, most of those guys are. Leatherface, he's simple-minded, trying really hard to make his family happy. Michael Myers is on a mission. Get out of his way. Even Pinhead's doing a job.
Yeah, true.
Or Hell Priest, whatever you want to call him. Like all these, and that's cool to have that, to be able to look at. But you can't look at Freddy like he's good or like he's
everything about him is very evil.
Yeah, he's very much the devil.
Yes.
He's the boogeyman.
Yes.
And that's why when people say, well, who do you think's the worst? I'm like, well, it's Freddy.
Yeah.
Freddy's the worst, dude. And Jason's not a villain to me, man. So
yeah, I mean, you get to watch over and over how excited he is to do exactly what he does.
Yeah, and I also, like I said, as they added in more comedy, Freddy got goofy. Well, think about it. You're a dream demon. You have all this power, and every time you kill, you become more powerful. Well, I mean, you're gonna get bored doing that. You're gonna start entertaining yourself.
Yeah, there's gonna be a period of time where you're just doing whatever.
Yeah,
well, I'm gonna try this. Nope, that didn't work so well. Okay, I'm gonna try this. Oh, that didn't work out.
It's like, let's see, should I stab him with the glove again? I know. I'll turn him into a puppet. Make him jump. Okay, I'm gonna go over and stab him. First, I'm gonna ride a skateboard. Yeah, I'm gonna turn into a superhero. Yeah, look what I can do.
I'm gonna beat him up in a video game.
Yeah, and both these characters, they got the video game. Be like me. Be like me. You recognize the kid, right?
The blonde guy.
Yeah,
I did. The face is there, but I couldn't.
It's Becken Myers. You remember he was in Clueless. He was.
Road
Trip.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he grew up. Gotcha. Yeah, believe it or not, like people do that these days.
Yeah.
Even back then, I guess.
No, he's great in like playing Ninja Gaiden and stuff like that. Like it was funny. Somebody posted in one of the groups I was in. They're like, "It's pretty sad that I know they couldn't probably afford to put Game Boy in here, but they could at least made it look like a real Game Boy." I'm like, that's a Tiger handheld, you brat. Ninja Gaiden, homie. It ain't knockoff nothing. That's what we had. Dadgum, It's like somebody it was this years ago. Somebody I had an iPod, right? And I was picking up some food in the drive-thru. Young kids like, oh, vintage. I'm like, it's an iPod. Is that vintage?
I think it is considered vintage.
I'm still like, whoa, the iPods, bro. Yeah. I've just put my CD player down, Okay, whatever. It's all good. All right. Anyway, now that I've given us the crash course and I've educated everybody, and everybody that's watching this is so much smarter, and they agree with me 100%. Yep.
You're welcome.
That's free. Think about what I do for money. Where's our time? We good?
It's time to start wrapping up this hour.
Okay, so we didn't cover the crew and the cast like we did before, but we did the crash course, and I'm happy to do that. Thank you for listening. I'm very excited now to talk about this movie coming up that we're about to talk about.
Yeah. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all those fun things, and we will see you in the next hour.
Yeah, Scarecrow Hour.
All right.
2 coming.
Later.
Copyright 2025 Unkle Sam presents. UNKLESampresents.com. Email us at iamunklesam@gmail.com. Spotify, YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, Instagram. Instagram, or Twitter. Email us if you wish to be a sponsor.
Check out the rest of our videos at